So today's mission is go and get an MOT for the puke. There's good news and there's bad news. The good news is, well, the bad news is it's 4 years old. The good news is we've paid 4 years finance on it. That's the good news. The bad news is there's another year to go. We buy our cars 5 years at a time. We think we've got time to get one more in. So once we've paid the tick on this one, we'll hack it in and we'll get another one. Well, finance is allowing, you know, usual sort of thing, but the cheap money's ended. So what's that going to cost? I don't know. How this one came about, how we do it. Now we use CarWow. We've used CarWow for quite a few years. I said to Debbie, I'm going to go and get you a new car. It was during lockdown. This was bought, and you'll see by the date, this was as soon as the showrooms opened after lockdown, we knew we wanted one. We went to get one. Anyway, I went to sort of look one, which Debbie's had this is about a 4th or 5th Peugeot. She had a little yellow 107, I think it was. Great car, cheap as chips to run. Then she had the plum, didn't she? The little Peugeot 108, I think it was. Little plum coloured thing. That was surprisingly, we couldn't even get rid of it. Because what we usually do is if we make the deal, we go Part X, right? This is the Part X price. We make the agreement. And then when you go to the dealer, you either give them the car or you give them the money equivalent because you've sold it privately yourself. And the little puke just didn't move. We got nothing for it. But that's the ups and downs of it. Anyway, this one, we'd ordered. Now this is a box standard. This isn't a factory built one or nothing. This one came, it's an Allure, which is one up from the bottom. So we'd ordered a bottom one. First of all, we use CarWow. So what you do is you go to your dealer, you find what you want to buy, presuming it's not a factory, but presuming you haven't ordered this and that to it, which makes it individual. If you're buying just a bog standard car, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, you know, that sort of a thing. Let's say the bottom is grade 1 and this is grade 2, which is one up from the bottom. So we went to the dealer, we saw what we wanted. Obviously he gave us a price. Then you go to CarWow and you put your details into CarWow, and then they come back at you. They come back at you and they say, right, and you only deal with main dealers. No second-hand dealers, nothing like that. Go to the main dealer. Then you deal with other main dealers up and down the country. And generally speaking, we've had quite good discounts, 2 and 3 and odd grand discounts. So anyway, then you go back and say, look, this is a CarWow offer off another dealer somewhere else in the country for the very same spec car. So then you can go back to your local dealer, go and see your salesman and say, look, we want the car, but why should we buy it off you? We want to buy it off you because you're local, but we can go 200 miles, 300 miles and get another one exactly the same from a Peugeot dealer. So that sort of helps the deal, and he says, well, all right, then we'll match it. So the local dealer will match it using CarWow as a bit of leverage, you know. So as you make the deal, and then what I tend to do is I say to the bloke as I'm leaving, I says, look, we've made a deal on this. We're waiting for this new car to arrive. But if you come up with another better deal, I don't want second-hand, I don't want newly registered, brand new one. If you can find me a better one and a good deal, it might cost me a bit more, but as long as there's a good price to be, you know, negotiated on it, I'm open to it. So fine. Anyway, you walk away, you think you're buying the very bottom of the scale, which is what you've agreed to. Because happens to be this particular car was the car of the year on this year of this launch. So this was, see, car of the year 2020. So, you know, there was no facelifts or no nothing. It was the first of this one. Anyway, he rang us up. He went, blah, 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 blah. I've got this one. I says, is it brand new? Yes, it's brand new. Blah, blah, blah. We had it in stock or whatever the hell they found it from. You don't really give a damn, do you? You just want a good price. So this, at that time, should have been, I think it was 19. And we paid 16 for it. Because obviously maybe this was something they wanted to get rid of, or I don't know. Anyway, it's done us really well. It's done us really well. To be honest, we've never had any bother. This is Debbie's third brand new Peugeot, and we've had Peugeots in the past, but Debbie's third brand new Peugeot, and they've never missed a beat. They've never missed a beat. So anyway, it's MOT time. So let's have a look at the mileage and the MOT. Let's lock it. Let's unlock it. This one. It's not going to do it for it, is it? No, it's already done it. Anyway, this one's got a fancy dash. Press button thing. What's the mileage on it? Hold on. Oh yeah, we got mileage. Let's turn it off. There's the mileage. See where the dash is real fancy on it. It's done 17,123, and it's one of these. Like I say, the first one we were going to buy didn't have a fancy dash, and this came with LED lights. It came better than we thought it was going to be. Slightly, you know. Anyway, let's have a look what we're going to do. That's what we did last year. So for you what we done, 2,000 miles or so, yeah. 17, 16, no, we done 1,000 miles. What did that say? 17,000, 16,000. So we've done 1,000 miles in this year. Because, you know, Debbie, we both of us just work around the corner. So there's a chassis number for the non-UK people. MOT, Ministry of Transport test. You have to have a test every year. There's the chassis number and the registration number. Last year's mileage. We are going early. We're actually going to have 13 months test on it. The earliest we can MOT it was the 17th, and I think it's the 18th today, isn't it? Yeah. So get it done out of the way. Yeah. It also, if there's any problems, you need parts or whatever, it gives you a month to try and find it. And then it's got this emissions thing behind it, and everything was pass. Now I think we must have sent it in for a service, or was short on time, or it's not our usual garage. We're going to go back to our usual garage where we get all the vehicles MOT'd. There must have been a reason for doing that particular day, whether it was booked or... We tend to be last minute merchants. We tend to ring up and say, can you book us in for an MOT? And some of them will say, oh, I can't book you in for a week. Then, you know, obviously we'll pick up the phone, ring the next one. Yeah. And so I'm guessing they were a man down. I'm guessing they were on holiday. I'm guessing there was a problem, so we threw it into there instead. So let's go back to our regular man. He MOTs the bike for us and the other motors. So yeah. So let's crack on, shall we? And see. Let's see if we can get a process of MOT and what's it got to go and what it's got to do for all that sort of a thing. Content. Let's see if we can get some content out of this MOT. We're on the ramp and we're having a look. Things looking not bad. There's no damage. We haven't been off-road with it. It's looking pretty good. Yeah. Still looking quite clean, isn't it? Oh, it's looking nice and clean still, which is what we want. We don't want it to be rusting away, do we? No, it's looking pretty good. whilst we were here, did you see the service light was on? So we thought we knew it was sorted due. We're going to have a service, so we're ticking over now, getting nice and warm, ready for a service, for an oil change, an oil and filter, and an air filter change. Yeah. So here we are. Look, we're looking. Disc on the back of it. Yeah. Yeah, plastic fuel tanks. Yeah. Looking. There's nothing unexpected underneath her. Of course, we do keep her in a garage, don't we? Well, we keep her in a tent, so that helps. Doesn't spend much time on the grass, but it does, doesn't it? The outside and the weather and the road grime. Oh. Anyway, take the cover off, get the sump off it, or get the oil out of the sump and give her a service. Looking good. Brake lines. Looking really good. There's the under tray, look. There's so many, you see so many cars with the under tray flying off, don't you? Getting loose. Yeah. There's quite a few fixings on it. There was a hook on the back, so you unscrew it and pull it backwards off that hook there. Look, you'd be surprised how much of a bit of a cover keeps all the filth and the weather off. Yeah? Ooh, right. Here we are, oil coming out.
All I remember from you working here was you used to come home and they used to say you stink.
Here it comes, look.
Oh,
oh, black oil. Yeah, it was ready for it. It was ready for a service. With all the black on it. And then it goes down here and into the container. In the container. I get down here very often, and I was just saying, in the old days, you used to fill it full of filler and newspaper and do anything to get the sills done, to get it through its MOT. And you'd paint everything black, wouldn't you? Hide it. But look, it's got like a layer of anti-chip underneath it, look. Just to keep the stone chips off. Yeah, the good old days. The good old days when we'd you'd do anything to get it. The stone chip comes down there, look, and protects it. Yeah. How many of us have had still trouble trying to get it through the MOT and shoved it full of anything to get it through? Them days are over, hopefully. The filter's in not too bad a place, and it doesn't make too much of a mess. Yeah. Some filters can be in a right stinker of a place and you just dribble it everywhere, but the filter's in a good spot. Yeah. In a discussion about filters, oh, how many of us have really struggled to get filters off? Stick a screwdriver through it, turn it round, kill the filter to get it off. You finally get it off, and then the one you've replaced, the new one, doesn't fit. So you've neither got a car to go and get a filter because you've mangled the filter off because the one you've got doesn't quite do the trick. Yeah, funny, innit? We've all been there, haven't we? We've all been there. See, look, plastic inside here, so you're not getting the stones thrown off on the tyres, doing damage and then causing rust. Nice plastic inside there. Same in the front, look. Plastic, like a plastic inner wing liner. Yeah. See, you've got no, you know, the stones throwing up on it and then causing it to chip and then causing the rust to come in. Pretty, I don't know how long these are going to last, you know. Will this last 20 years? Or 30 years? Will these make vintage age? The modern car, you know what I mean? What do you think? Do you think these modern cars are going to make it like, you know, some of the older cars have made it? Corrosion is going to be our biggest enemy, isn't it? patina and corrosion. That'll be the first thing that goes. Are these, look. That's, how are we going to make, you know, it probably, I don't know if it's newer or older. What's going to stop this from being a vintage car, 50, 60, 70 years old? I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think the parts are going to be available, or the parts won't last that long, or maybe the engines won't last that long, because we're a replacement, we're not a repair, are we? We just replace things. Who thinks that something like this will survive, you know, survive to be 50, 60, 70 years old, like some of the older vehicles we've got? I don't think it'll make it. What do you think? It'll be the parts, won't it? It'll be the engine availability. They won't make the parts, will they? Yeah, I don't think so anyway. I could be wrong. Plastic under there, look. Pretty well protected about underneath, isn't it? For, you know, stone chips, and so it might last long that way, as long as these connections connect and keep up there, you know. Yeah. What do you understand? Plenty of heat protection. Plenty of you know, heat protection up here around the exhaust. Well, is that aluminium or something? That might survive better than the exhaust survives. Yeah. Plastic. I still don't think these modern cars, I think it's going to be the engine will go, and you won't be able to get the engine parts, or the next thing will be emissions. What will knock them out? I think it's going to, as the emissions improve and they want better and better emissions, I think these will get knocked out by emissions. You won't be able to get them through an MOT. That's my thinking on it. Look, what's that? A catalytic converter? Is that it? A flexible hose there. Look. Wow, it's complicated, isn't it? So you let me know what your opinion is. Do you think these modern cars are gonna make it to 40, 50, 60-year-old cars? Ah, the parts van has arrived. So hopefully that's the filter and the air filter for the puke. So, partly my own fault. I should have said, have you got the parts in to do the service? I should have asked that question. He says, do you want to do in service? I says, because I came for an MOT. Do you want to service? Yeah, go on then, bang a service on it. But I didn't realise he didn't have the parts in. Yeah, wait for the parts van to bring it. But that's the way the system is now. Nobody carries stock, do they? Much. That many different cars. They just ring up and the parts arrive, either be a little man or a little van or somehow. Right, we'll be down there with it now. It's the way it is. The way the modern system is. Look, an Audi. What the hell is that? What the hell is this? Wow, they're so complicated today, aren't they? Where's the plugs? Where's the HT lead? Where's the distributor? I guess it's all fuel injected and all that now, innit? Yeah. They've come forward, the modern vehicles come forward so much, but look, that looked like a big electrical box of some sort, some brains of the thing. Wow. They've come forward, but they're so complicated now, aren't they? Here we go now, look, air filter time. Ooh. Doesn't look too bad. No, it looks. We've seen worse, yeah. It's not a case of replacing, you've got to blow all the leaves and all the debris that gets in there now. So the boys have been fantastic here. Yeah, they're lovely and friendly, and they'll do anything for you. So we've had an MOT, we've had a service, You'll always know, and that's the bike bay, so you can get your bike done and you can get your cars done. You always know when you come up the road, you know you're trying to spot it. As you're coming up, watch out for the garage, the car wash garage, and watch for the little bike on top. Then you know you're here. P&R Autos. Fantastic. Yeah, great. And one of the great things about coming over here with the for your MOT is you can pop into the tool market whilst you're here. Or a fantastic place. So there's a job done for another year. Got its MOT, no advisories, no problems with it, no up and coming problems with it. 39 quid for the MOT, 150 quid for the service, oil filter, air filter and the oil. Yeah. Now can you see now, look, the date 25, we've actually got 13 months MOT on it. So yes, it's a 12 months ticket from scratch, but because we were able to go early, done out the way, it gives you the end of the last MOT and then the 12 months on top, so you can get 13 months if you go nice and early. And if there was any issues or problems or parts or whatever, it gives you that leeway. You're not driving around going, oh damn, my MOT ran out, oh damn, I'd better book it into an MOT. It avoids all those sort of stresses and aggravation. So yeah, that's another 12 months we can sort of forget about it. Obviously do your checks now and again, oil, water, and screen wash, and then now and again keep an eye on your tyres, make sure all your tyres there's nothing, no scratches or marks, but generally we can virtually say trouble-free motoring. There was something else I wanted to explain to you though, was why so little mileage this year. Well, like I explained, the previous one was a great city car, but Debbie got made redundant, and then the firm moved to Shrewsbury, and then they talked her into going back to Shrewsbury and travelling every day, and that little 108 just wasn't safe enough up and down the motorway, we thought. So, and it was due for changing, so we got a slightly bigger one to do the mileage, and then it was just too much going to Shrewsbury every day from here, there and back. So she found a job locally on a doorstep. Do you know, it's fantastic if you can just travel 5 or 10 minutes to work. Wow, it makes a difference. Yeah, rather than, you know, it takes half an hour to get to work, or you've got to take an hour to get to work. I know a lot of us do it. Here you don't travel so far, but it takes your time. Maybe some of your places you've got quieter roads and you can go further. But there's a great advantage, vehicle, mileage, wear and tear, cost. There's a great advantage of working as close as home as you can. Yeah. And Debbie was lucky. This job came up, she got it. So we don't use it so much now, but it still takes her to work a mile there and a mile back every day. Yeah. So that's the end of that story. We got a bit of content out of it today, didn't we? We got a little greenhouse update. In there is a solar panel plus a little pump plus a little timer and all that sort of a thing. So we've put this here. The water goes in and out here, the electric and the water. There's a level gauge on it, and Debbie's fitted the wire, the cord tube, and can you see, look, can you see the wet patch? It's keeping the tomato plants well watered. So it's there, look, a little bit of water coming out, keeping that so they don't dry up in the greenhouse, and they're kept with water. Vinny the Vine has got one. Having a bit of water, that might take, but that's quite a bigger tub sort of thing, that holds a lot more water. And she's had the tubes ready to come and add on. She's topped that up, put whatever in there. She's been quite busy, yeah, Debbie's been quite busy. It's just the very beginning. Oh, I think these are sunflowers. It's just the very beginning of the greenhouse season, for us anyway. And the two IBCs are doing great. So the water off the greenhouse goes on there, it just keeps the pressure. One IBC did the trick, but now two, where as it goes down, we won't lose much pressure. We're thinking of turning this into another water collection tub. Yeah, in that corner. So, we might think about that. And you know what it's like. The winter time, the greenhouse dies, doesn't it? And then it comes back to life. Well, I have asked the question. I said to Debbie, are you sure you really want to do the greenhouse and go to the effort of doing it? Because if you don't, I'll have it back. And I'll have lovely shelves of nuts and bolts all the way up here. Can you imagine all that full of nuts and bolts, and this full of nuts and bolts? And we'd probably board that up with that chipboard stuff, stop the heat coming in quite so much. And we would have a fantastic load of shelving on here with nuts and bolts. What a fantastic storeroom this would be, wouldn't it? You could even afford to bring them 2 jars deep. And it wouldn't encroach in the space down the middle too much, would it? Oh, so I can't wait for Debbie. I know she enjoys the greenhouse. But one year, I keep asking every year, maybe every 6 months, are you sure you want to keep the greenhouse, love? Because if you don't want it, I've got a fantastic idea for the greenhouse. We've got to have a fantastic bench across there, can we? A bit of a workbench here. Shelving, what an amazing space this would be for the nuts and bolts. So here's hoping that one year she says to me, do you know what, Reggie? It's too much work and effort. I can't be bothered with the greenhouse. Whoo! And we've been here like a ferret down a drain pipe.